Mojave is going brushless. All right, everyone, that's the good stuff. We gotta have it, man. It is 2 in the morning. No better time than right now than to go ahead and start a brushless project on here. So what are we going to need? We're going to need a transmitter. I'm using this Dumbo. I have the better one that has the screen. There's only 10 model memory, so I'm kind of selective on which ones I want to use with that. But these radios are very, very cheap. You can even get a receiver like this right here with the gyro. Not that I need a gyro, but for the price, like $15, $20, you know, I don't know what they're ever going to go in, so I'd rather just have them in stock, you know, with the gyro in it. Here is the little 3S battery. This is the same one that I used with the Typhon. Brushless motor. This is 3800 kV. Same motor I used in the Typhon too. It's really nice is that the shaft, the motor shaft here, is the same size. It's already in here, so the gears will swap over nicely. Because of the 2-in-1 receiver in here, the receiver ESC that's coming out, it's all one thing, so we need a plate to actually hold our receiver. ARRMA does sell one, but it's been back ordered for quite a while. What's going to make this thing tick? The Mambo Micro X2. Yeah, you know, when I did the Typhon, I got the Team Associate MT10, and I just wasn't happy with the ESC. It's not programmable. You hit the brakes, the car wanted to like roll over. It just wasn't very punchy. That's a considerably larger vehicle. I took that ESC, dropped it in the Typhon, and it has worked great. All right, we're going to start off first. Get this center brace out of here. Now this might be a bit hard to get out. I struggled to get it out of the Typhon. It is in there pretty good. There you go. Just use the motor as leverage. I think that's the easiest way right there. Heck yeah. That thing is in there. Oh man. At least the nice thing for this is that this is just a standard 3-wire servo. You'll find some cheaper cars out there will use like a 5-wire, and it just makes swapping stuff such a pain. Now, I'll tell you what, be honest, I might be regretting this, because I think it actually, this RC really performed well on the brush system. So 2 screws underneath release the this whole servo ESC mount. I'll put the screw right back in there so we don't lose it, and that way I know what it's for. There you have it. So actually no, we have to take this servo off of here. So these little servo screws are 1.5 millimeter. That's weird. So there we have it. This is a radio, receiver, and ESC all in one. Little brushless motor here, which we do have to remove this motor mount. Oh, and yeah, we gotta get the pinion off of there too. You can go onto the ARRMA website. You buy these little plates, and they have different gear numbers on them. I'm not sure if it's focusing in on that or not. This thing is so tiny. So I believe this is a 19-tooth pinion gear in here. Look at that, nice little metal gears, bearing. 2 more ball bearings back here. Nice little metal center drive shaft here. Now this is a direct drive. There's no slipper clutch. If you watched my other video, my review video, when I did the jump, I was like, hey guys, when you jump, you know, take your hand off the throttle. You don't want to land on power. That's specifically really true with this thing without it having any type of slipper clutch or center diff. You know, maybe on the brush system it's not terrible. It still wouldn't do it, but now that we're upgrading this thing, definitely got to watch it. Alright, so I'm going to start with this because this thing kicked my rear end the last time. I could not figure out how this dang thing went. I really wish Hot Racing would put dang instructions in here. That would be nice. Look at how tiny the servo is. That's like something I'd... No, this is even smaller than one from my plane. I could see it over there on the board. This is even smaller. Wow, that's something else. Alright, so this is the way I think this goes. This longer bracket goes on the top. So you have your servo here, the way it's sat in. This longer piece there. So I reuse these factory spacers because the way this thing is cut open. If I recall correctly, I had a problem with the screws that are provided in the kit just popping past that piece. So that's the reason why I just use that factory piece. I'll be honest with you, normally I'm a big fan of the Hot Racing stuff, but I do not really care for this servo mount thing. Just don't. Alright, next up is this top plate. We gotta get that. That's where we're gonna put our receiver for everything to work. Alright, so I think for the top plate, you're gonna use the two shortest screws that come in the kit. Because I just tried to use the longer one. I thought it might hold better, and I can't get it in there. Alright, it's on there. And it's not going to interfere with anything. Still, if I had my preference, I would just use the one that ARRMA sells, but it's been back order for a while. So, okay, let's see here. Best stuff in the world for holding things down is this VHB tape. Oh, I forgot to mention, if you're interested in any of this stuff here, it will be in my Amazon store. Just go down there to like RC Vehicles and check it out. Find all the tools that I use, stuff like this. I mean, a majority of what I have is listed down there in that store. So let's make sure it's stuck here to the receiver really good. Let's get the motor. Go ahead and get that set up. Where is our motor mount? Here we go. So just take a look at this thing. How does this mount go in? Okay, so the mount actually right here goes down like so. So we want to try to keep this motor with the wires pointing up. There we have it. I need some Loctite. I need some Loctite. Hey, a little tip here on the Loctite, guys. You don't need a whole lot. If the parts are greasy, make sure they are cleaned, and make sure you give it 24 hours to set. Seen people go ahead and change out pinion gears, and they'll go out there and start running, and everything works its way loose because didn't let the stuff set up. Alright, so there we have it. Look at that. Nice. That's a 3800 kV. Should be nice and fast. So these tires are actually smaller than the Typhon. So the Typhon, I get no, really, like, seriously no heat buildup in the system. So as far as like the ESC motor, I don't get any heat, so I'm not worried about that. Where did my, okay, here's a spur gear pinion. We'll have to remove that all the way to get some Loctite on there. So the nice thing with this kind of setup here is that if you're a beginner in that, you don't know anything about setting mesh, this plastic piece takes care of it. It sets it for you. So you might hear people talk about setting the mesh and all that, and that would only be on a motor mount that's, you know, adjustable and spins. This one doesn't do it, but one thing we do have to watch out for is the alignment between these two gears. So see how this one's kind of far back? We're going to work it forward some. I think this is directional. Oh look, I can actually take that. I think I could take that off without removing that spur gear, the pinion gear. I think it does. Man, so yeah, this piece here is set up for 2 different gears, and I think I just got lucky last time when I did the Typhon, stuck it on there and it all went in. Because right now the motor's not even touching. It's not even touching. So I have to do this all over again. Hey man, it's all part of doing this. A little bit more Loctite. Alright, let's try this one more time. One more time. Oh boy. Hey. Alright, there we go. Now it's working. Okay, so like I said here, you want these two to line up. So once we get that lined up here, we just need to spin that around. There we go. We got our Allen screw set up. Whoa, man, that's these are some cheap screws they put on here. Dang, I just stripped it, man. Well, I hope I don't ever have to pull this gear off. Well, that's a lesson learned on this. That's a really cheap screw. I really like to lock down pinions, but that one I was tightening. These are good bits. I usually, if I have a problem with like these drivers here, if I have a problem with these being a little off, I go to these gold bits, and they're usually right on the money, or even sometimes a little tight. That freaking sucks. That's gonna be fun getting out. So sometimes if you have that problem like down the road and you have to get that stuff out, you can always try American, because all this is metric, so sometimes maybe an American one might fit in there. Alright, let's get this in here. Let's make sure everything is. Let's check the mesh. Oh yeah, nice. Maybe a little bit looser than what I would set it at, but it'll work. It will work. Alright, tip 2, make sure these pins, you get these pins here in the front, make sure they are in there, because that's what holds the suspension, and then the pins lock in here. So we want to make sure, take the weight off the car when you do this, that way you don't push those pins up and out. Look at that. Ha ha ha. Alright, important too, when you're doing threading like this, plastic into plastic, don't overdo it. You'll strip that out easier than I did that pinion. Oh, I can't believe that. Seriously, I mean, that's kind of scary, because I'm in trouble if that thing strips. If I ever have a problem with that, I don't know how I'm gonna. So I guess the thing is snug it up and hope the Loctite holds it. That's, I guess, all I can suggest. Oh boy. So I have an extra screw for some reason. Oh, ooh, there we go. Always pays to look. So yeah, use the driver to do most of the work for you, and then finish it off with the by hand. So question, how many of you watch Do RC? Check it, I won that from him. How cool is that? Man, look at that, we're almost done here. So the fan, I'm gonna plug that in last because that'll be the last wire, but servo should be the first. And yes, factory heatsink fits perfect. So now we got the this is definitely not the cheapest way to do it, And I know somebody's gonna probably comment about one of the eBay ESCs. I really don't trust them. I don't know. The reviews are so mixed on that. Some people say it's good. Other people like it caught fire. So, you know, just to be safe on the ESC, that's the one place I'm not gonna skimp. You know, that motor, fine. I don't think it's gonna catch fire and do all that crazy stuff, but man, you know what? That will fit nicely there. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the camera, the battery died. So, before I went inside to get a new battery, I just went ahead and got the ESC plugged in. I soldered the battery connector on here, which I wasn't going to do, explain anyhow, because it's just a process. One day maybe I'll just do a tutorial on how to solder the connectors, even though I'm not the best at it, but I can manage. So we got that done. I got the wires plugged in for the motor. Now if the motor spins, like if we hit forward, it goes reverse, we'll just switch two of the wires. Not a big deal. That's all you have to do to fix that problem. So we got our servo plugged in, we got our throttle plugged in, and then this being a Castle ESC, uses this B-Link to program it. So here is the app. So no B-Links found. I guess this thing must have been on too long. Mamba Micro. So somebody just made a stupid comment on the last video, like, is it Mamba or Mambo? I'm like, man, you gotta just like listen too hard. But it was just like a one-man show here trying to make some stuff, and if you're talking and maybe probably just didn't understand me right, or maybe it came out, I don't know. Jeez, man, it's like you had to make that comment. Like, there's nothing else better going on in your life than to sit there and say, oh, you missaid a word, ha. Jeez, it's like my Russia video when I went to, me and the wife went to Russia. We were in her mom's apartment, and I kept saying espresso, and then even people from Russia were like, somehow, it's espresso, it's a, oh man, you know, jeez. Alright, so let's look at our settings. Hopefully you can see that. Voltage cutoff auto for lipos. BEC voltage, so 5.5 and 7.5, but I'm already looking. That seems pretty fast, so you do risk a chance of burning out your servo if you go too high on the voltage. So brake amount, 50%, so when you go reverse the brake, it'll be 50% of the power, so we'll leave it there. We'll see how that goes. If it ends up wanting to flip the vehicle over, if it's too much, we can dial that down. So start power, I don't even know why that's max power 100, reverse throttles 50%, punch control disabled. Let's turn that to 50. Torque control, no idea. I'm sorry, my arms are tired. I built a gazebo today. Oh, my arms are having to hold my arms up so high to put in panels in that roof. So there is a live link. We can enable throttle deadband, I don't know, motor direction. So you can reverse the motor. I don't know where you would need that on a brushless. I can't think of anything. I think it's more for brushed. But I'm thinking I had to do that one time, I think on the Vendetta. For some reason it was, oh, because I was going full throttle and it was barely moving. It was going forward, but it was barely moving, so I had to reverse the motor, and then it would, something like that. I can't remember. So throttle curve, like here, you can do like an exponential type setup here. Same thing with the brake. So once you get all that, you send it to the B-Link. And now it's programming the ESC. Got a little blinking light there. Settings complete. Alright, so now we can take this out of here. We can plug this in. And Now we can make sure this receiver set up right. So, all right. So we got forward. Ooh. And you know what's crazy? This ESC can go 4S. I don't have a 4S battery that would fit. I could get one. I don't think I will, because I don't think the drivetrain's really going to handle much more. And then too, I thought the ESC had a fan. I thought it with this, but no, it's just metal. Little heat sink sticking up. But I still like it over here better, because with this being plastic, I don't think it would work good with the strap. The other one I have, it's just metal up there, so strapping it's not a problem. But what we'll do is here, because this battery is so short for this tray, I'm just going to go ahead and we'll double stick this receiver right there to kind of lock that into place, and we should be good to go. So now the Dumbo, you hold it down for a couple seconds, it'll blink, and that's how you bind it. Alright, so let's set up the Dumbo receiver here. So basically you hold down the button for a couple seconds, it'll start blinking, turn on the transmitter, and it's bound. That's pretty easy. So I think what it is, you hit this button, there's only one button on here, so it makes life easy. I think 3 times turns the gyro on. Yeah, there we go. And see, so it is going the right way, and we adjust it with channel, what is it, 6 or 5, right there. So basically right there, you could just turn it off. But we want to make sure this is, all right, see, it's going the wrong direction, the back end. So if we hit this twice, it'll reverse direction. See, you got that quick little blink of the light there. See? Now it's working right. Alright. Let's turn this off because I don't want the gyro going crazy while we're doing this. Woo! Spicy. Alright. Now the only test is will the body go on? I believe it should. Let's see why it would. Ooh. So yeah, these wires. I forgot, you got so much skeleton here. It does eat up some room there. But I do believe it should be okay. Yeah, I just have to push down just a little bit harder. Yeah, ain't no big deal. I mean, they can handle that, and there's no fan there to worry about. Alright, so if I can make this video short enough, the next thing you'll see is us speed running and driving it. Don't know if that's gonna happen. So if I go ahead and end the video, then we will see you next time for the speed run. If I can make this short enough, we'll go ahead and speed run and drive it. But I think this might just have to be its own video about how to do this, because I'm doing this on the bench thing to kind of teach people how to do this. So it kind of slows me down. I mean, I could have just sat there and said, hey, boom, there's a motor, and then, hey, it's complete. Did it in 2 minutes and shipped it. But I'm trying to teach. I had a lot of people ask about doing courses, stuff to help new people out. We're going to go ahead and speed run and just see how it drives now with the brushless 3S system. Alright everyone, appreciate the support. Hope you enjoyed this on the bench, getting this vehicle converted to brushless, and you'll join us and watch it run, and you'll subscribe and join us for more RC vehicle adventures. We got planes, boats, cars, monster truck. We got a little bit of everything from 8S to 2S. You know, run the gamut. I like to show affordable stuff to get people in the hobby, and then show you kind of like what you can do with the with an affordable RC. You know, when the budget allows, or if you want to increase it, or if you do have the money, you know, it's how you can do that. You know, I like showing affordable stuff. It's like I've done the WL toys, and I got that up to X Maxes. So, and even the 8S Creighton and Outcast, stuff like that. So, got a wide variety of things. So I'll hope you all subscribe. Help me bring this content to you. Shop my Amazon store. It's free of charge for you to use, and I get a commission for that, and it helps me bring you the stuff. I also have like AMAIN and other links and stuff like that, but the Amazon really does well. So I appreciate the support. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.